It was a rainy Wednesday morning in downtown Atlanta. The sky was a blanket of gray, and the streets glistened from a fresh pour. People rushed under umbrellas, car horns echoed, and the scent of damp earth lingered in the air. Standing by the corner of Lenox Avenue, wearing a faded janitor's uniform and holding a mop bucket, was Linda Adebayo, early 40s, calm, observant, and dressed in plain overalls. Her hands were rough from years of hard work, but her eyes held the kind of calm that only comes from wisdom and secrets. Because Linda wasn't just any cleaner. She was the CEO and sole owner of the multimillion-dollar real estate firm that occupied the gleaming building behind her. Today, however, she was undercover. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, and share this story with your friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story travels. Linda had started this experiment weeks ago. She wanted to see her empire from the ground up, to witness how people were treated at the bottom of the corporate ladder. Dressed as a cleaner named Janet, she worked silently in the lobby, hallways, and even bathrooms. Some were kind to her. Others, not so much. This morning, as she mopped the marble floor just outside the parking lot, a sleek white BMW sped through a puddle without warning. Muddy water exploded into the air, drenching Linda from chest to boots. She gasped, stumbling backward. Her uniform clung to her skin, soaked through with grime. The driver slammed the door, heels clicking fast on the pavement. It was Amanda Harper, tall, blonde, mid-30s, and one of the senior project managers at Linda's firm. Amanda barely looked at Linda. With a flick of her manicured fingers and a wrinkle of her nose, she muttered, "Ooh, get out of the way, please. You people are always standing where you shouldn't be." Linda stood frozen, her mop handle still gripped tightly. The insult stung more than the cold splash. "Excuse me," she asked, voice calm but laced with warning. Amanda stopped. Her blue eyes scanned Linda from head to toe, full of disdain. "Do you speak English? Just, don't block the sidewalk. I have a meeting to run." Without another word, she strutted off toward the building, not realizing her soaked janitor had heard everything. What Amanda didn't know was that inside the executive boardroom upstairs, a very important meeting was about to begin. Linda's company, Baylux Properties, was undergoing internal restructuring. 3 senior managers were under review, Amanda included. At precisely 9 a.m., Amanda walked into the glass-paneled conference room, still adjusting her hair. Around the long table sat the company's regional directors, board advisors, and HR. At the head seat was an empty chair. Then the door opened. Gasps filled the room. Amanda's face dropped as the cleaner from earlier, still damp, but now wearing a tailored navy suit and diamond studs, walked in confidently. Her posture was poised, her energy commanding. Linda Adebayo had arrived, no mop in sight. She slowly took her seat at the head of the table. "Good morning, everyone," she began smoothly. "Before we begin, there's something I need to address." Her gaze locked directly on Amanda. "This morning, on my way into this building, I was splashed with mud by a reckless driver. That's unfortunate. But what followed was far more disturbing, a blatant act of classism, disrespect, and prejudice towards someone believed to be a cleaner." Amanda's eyes darted around the room, now pale and speechless. Linda continued, "It's easy to treat the powerful with respect. But how you treat those you think are powerless, that reveals who you really are." She then stood and pulled a file from her folder. "Amanda Harper, you were already under review for complaints from junior staff regarding your leadership style. Today's incident was the final confirmation." "Ms. Adebayo, I didn't know it was you," Amanda stammered. Linda tilted her head. "That's exactly the point. Would you have treated me differently if I wore heels and a silk blouse? People like you create toxic environments that push talent away." Silence blanketed the room. Amanda's hands trembled as security was quietly summoned. Within minutes, she was escorted out of the building, eyes wide with disbelief. The board sat stunned. Linda cleared her throat. "Let this be a reminder. At Baylux, respect is not earned through status, it's expected, regardless of position. From the janitor to the CFO, every person in this company matters." The meeting proceeded, but everyone walked away that day with something more than notes and numbers. They left with a lesson. That lesson: never look down on someone just because of the uniform they wear. You never know who's watching, or who's really in charge. Later that evening, Linda stood by the large window in her corner office, watching raindrops chase each other down the glass. Her assistant, Nia walked in and asked softly, "Was that the outcome you expected?" Linda nodded slowly. "I didn't expect it. I hoped it wouldn't happen. But if a manager can't respect the most vulnerable, they shouldn't lead anyone." Nia smiled. "You made a statement today." Linda glanced out again at the rain. "I didn't want to make a statement. I wanted to remind people what it means to be human." Moral lesson. Always treat people with kindness and dignity, regardless of their job title, skin color, or appearance. The way you treat those with no power reveals everything about your character. In a world full of masks and uniforms, remember that everyone has a story, and sometimes, the janitor might just be your billionaire boss. Let us know what you think in the comments. Where are you watching from? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping, real-life inspired stories.